Hello everyone, and welcome to The Witcher 2 Lorethrough, episode 36, if I'm not wrong. I might be wrong because I'm wrong a lot, but we are going to save Triss Marigold today and see what she has to say about the launch, which means that we are infiltrating the Nilfgaardian camp. And yes, I did change my outfit because I realized that I hadn't actually put on any of the gear that I found over the time that I played this right now, because I didn't need to, but let's just do it anyway. So let's go.
You are to guard the camp like it's the Emperor's treasure.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Let so much as a flea slip through, and you shall pay with your heads.
I'm about to flee. Into your camp. Hey, buddy.
Look who's here, the Rivian Witcher.
'Tis I.
Greetings. Our paths cross often, it seems.
Too often.
What do you seek here?
Love, mostly. Treasure. Nothing, goodbye.
Triss Marigold.
In the Nilfgaardian camp? Fistek has addled your brain.
Funny. You're a funny man.
Lower your sword, son.
You've got cheek, Geralt.
2, in fact.
Let's go.
I like how I'm holding a sword to his neck. It's like, you've got cheek.
False move, and your ambassador will never see Nilfgaard's son again.
My men won't let you leave here alive.
They will if you ask them to, Excellency, and I believe you will.
Reynold Ep Madsen's orders come from the Emperor himself. He'd rather die than give you Marigold.
Then he'll die.
No, mark my words, you will. Unless you release me, it's not too late.
You're boring me. Pick up the pace.
Why do you care for that sorceress so much?
Go.
Are you in love with her? A poor choice, even for you.
That cuts no ice with me.
But agreed, though. But agreed. Fight me, Tristans. Fight me. Take you all on. It would escape.
Out of the way, all of you, or the old man dies.
Hold there!
I'm not joking.
I know, and I advise you not to hesitate. Kill him, for we shan't move one bit.
Renwald!
He who brings me the Witcher's head will get the Order of Merit.
But Ambassador Fitz-Estellen...
Your Excellency. Orders from the capital.
Now I'll have to kill you all.
What are you waiting for? Get him!
I have to get my front forehead tattooed as well. You have a back forehead as well, Daisy? Yeah? And? What of it? Slap! Slap harder. But yeah, if you... Carol, turn around, you dummy. If you just walk forward constantly, you would miss a lot of conversations, and I think I accidentally skipped some before. Was not about to let this one skip. Long live the Emperor! Unlike me, I will live only seconds. Yes, put your sword away. You could at least clean it first. Unbelievable. I feel like we've read this one before already, but hey. To His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of Nilfgaard, Imeva Emrys, private and confidential. Your Imperial Majesty, after visiting Foltest, may he rest in peace, as planned, I am now the guest of Henselt, whom I aim to present your Imperial Majesty's offer. Kedwin is a quarrelsome nation with an unreliable king and a wild nobility. Sympathies and allegiances shift time and time again. Just like the rest of the North, but okay. Manipulating them takes no real skill. I note that Renwald Ep Madsen has also taken up station in the barbarous North. I would take this occasion to express my doubt that sending him was necessary. Your Imperial Majesty knows that I do not trust the man and suspect he is hiding something from me. Your Imperial Majesty's ever-faithful servant, Shellad Fitz-Estellen. Yeah. I believe the thing that he was hiding was basically this, which is, you know, if he has to die for the cause, he has to die for the cause. You know, he has, I think because Renoir also had a correspondence with the Emperor, and I think in there he was like, well, Shellad's kind of a fuck up, honestly, so maybe we'll just get rid of him. Maybe we will. Don't matter. He doesn't really do anything of use. You have anything in your coffin? Coffer? Both? I could stuff a corpse in there.
Must be another way in.
There always is. We go the long way around. Take the ladder. I think on hard mode I actually... Oh, there's another cover. We'll ignore it. On hard mode I actually died a few times here because it's actually kind of hard. Especially a later fight. But not right now because we're playing on easy mode. Jinzy, are you gonna say that a lot of times? Obviously. As many times as the great sun needs to hear it. Let me jump. They have such issues with that every time. Oh no, you died. What happened? Oh, it was me. Okay. Run, Geralt, run! I think it was actually here, though. The guy does not play around. Hi, guys.
Did you really think you could just prance in here?
Yes.
Make the Emperor proud! Kill him!
Actually, I don't know why I'm using my sword all the time when I've literally made a magic build. I made a magic build and then I don't use my magic. Burn, bitches! Slowly! Slow, very slow.
Die, Nordling!
Me.
The
You were
Imperial
on fire
Army's
2 seconds
ranks are
ago.
endless!
Are they? So is my magic. Can you see why you might die here? Because... No, it gets set on fire. What the heck? Okay, my magic is not that endless. I do need a second, okay? Give me a second. Give me another second. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to do it nice. They never let me flaunt. Okay, that's just rude. That's not even evil. That's just rude. I wasn't really targeting you. I was targeting this guy. But okay, we'll take both. Why not? Y'all are on fire again, eh? How does that keep happening? It seems to happen around me a lot. Put your sword away. There you go. You're learning. Get up there.
Congratulations, Witcher. They were my best men.
Were. Choose better
You should
ones
have picked
next
them more
time.
carefully, or trained them better.
Or perhaps they were ready for any foe but you.
Free Triss, or join them.
You amaze me. How can you risk your life for a witch?
She has information that's very important to me.
Ah, that I understand. You're exceptionally reasonable for a Nordling.
Thanks. It means a lot to hear you say that.
It should, because I in turn have information about her, which you may find interesting.
What are you talking about?
Your friend and the other witches conspired against your rulers.
That's impossible, but go
How do
on.
you know that?
From the best possible source. She confessed.
And how did you convince her to do that?
By showing her the confessions of other lodge members.
I don't believe you.
That's irrelevant at this point. During our chat, my people managed to regroup, call for reinforcements.
Maybe now they'll start fighting like men.
Time to show you the Empire's true power.
He whispers. And also I thought
Surround
that
him!
your last men were already your best men, but yeah. Okay. I always think this is kind of... Okay, man, maybe I'll tell you. Well, actually, I can tell you during a fight. We're only fighting after all. I always think this is funny because they have this scene here.
Bring shame to the Empire. Shield bearers, forward!
Okay. They have this. I'm gonna just call it a scene still. They have this scene here where they basically say Triss got tortured and she confessed, which may or may not be true, you know. But then in The Witcher 3 they have a scene where Triss gets tortured as well. Maybe I'll even bring it up again if I ever do a Lorethrough for that, but...
I failed you.
You fail a lot, don't feel bad. Yeah, Triss gets tortured there, and she doesn't break. In fact, she kills them afterwards, so it's like... Character growth! Character growth. I'm taking your silver ring, just because I can. Aw, you only have an iron ring? You are a loser. Ah, I think that's actually, isn't that the one that I was talking about earlier? I think it was. Private and confidential. I agree with the conclusions of your reports. Fitz Ustelin has failed, and we cannot allow his ineptitude to foil my plans. I hereby authorize you to resolve this problem by any means you deem fit, should such a need arise. Va Emrys. There you go. That's what he was hiding. So he was kind of right. He wasn't terrible at his job. He was just terrible at his job. Do I want this right now? I do not. I do not. Because you have absolutely no sign intensity. Oh, Lord, and that's too heavy. I do want to keep it on my person. It looks nice. You can have my... I kind of want to keep that too. Jinzi, why though? Why do you want to keep it? What is it going to do for you? Hey, if you wore the other one, you could actually carry more shit. Why do I have this on my sword? Because I did quests, so they gave me swords, and that's it. That's the whole deal. Okay, that'll do. Anyway, yeah, so she's down there. I'm taking your coin. Jinzi, you don't need those at all. Not even a little bit. Doesn't matter. Taking them anyway. I am gonna quick save here real quick because there are multiple things that you can talk to her about. So I'm gonna have some reloads.
Geralt?
Didn't expect
Same
to
scene as
see me.
Vess.
Are you kidding? The only person you expect to see in a Nilfgaardian dungeon is the executioner.
Did they torture you?
They tried various things, but they got nothing from me.
When I left Flotsam with Vernon, I somehow doubted I'd find you so soon.
I know it was hard on you. I'll never forget this, you hear? Never.
Well, we'll do those two, don't worry.
Couldn't you ask your friends from the Lodge for help?
How do you know of the Lodge?
She whispered.
Listen, Triss, to come here for you, I had to split up with Vernon. Temeria is in danger of disintegrating.
Are you sorry you chose to come here?
No, I'm not. But freeing you from Shillard's grasp was not my only reason for coming here. I need you to explain your role in this mess. And to explain why you lied to me.
That's not true.
I know about the Lodge. I know the Lodge was behind Demavend's assassination. I know Triss Merigold is a member of the Lodge.
It's not like that.
Show me the error in my reasoning.
True. I'm a member of the Lodge. Just like 8 other sorceresses. But if you think I'm responsible for the Lodge's actions, you're badly mistaken. The Lodge is a theater for 2 actresses. Sheila and Philippa have long dominated it.
To the point where you didn't know about the murder they planned?
To the point where I was no longer invited to gatherings.
Why?
They stopped trusting me.
Because you didn't agree with them?
9 women very rarely agree on anything. The actual problem was that
Tell me.
I was close to you. If Sheila fears anyone, it's Geralt of Rivia. The Lodge did everything to convince me that our relationship didn't bother them, even that it suited them. But they manipulated me. Through me, they fed you select information. Depending on the circumstances, they twisted facts.
We're still close. They could still be doing it.
Don't insult me.
They totally took advantage of me. I was super manipulated, and it was actually really easy to do. They could still be doing it. Excuse me? That's a bit double, Triss. Don't you think that's a bit troll? That's a bit double. That's a bit double. So we're doing the untrustworthy path first. We're doing the trust path next. So don't worry, we'll see all of those. But yeah, real quick about the Lodge. This was kind of, I guess, done for gameplay reasons, really, because the way the Lodge operates is definitely not that. It wasn't a theater for Sheila and Philippa. In fact, Sheila really didn't want anything to do with it. When we get honest, like, because Sheila has been asked for various high positions already, which she turned down because she wanted to be a recluse in Kovir and have fun with shit, basically. And then Philippa was like, yeah, but listen, for the good of mankind, for the good of the realm of magic, you need to come and do Lodge things with us. So she was like, fine, okay, I guess. She wasn't scared of Geralt of Rivia. That's another one. I don't know why they made that a thing. Sheila wasn't really afraid of pretty much anyone. She was probably one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful one, from the Lodge. I said this earlier in Lorethrough already, but in the launch, when Sheila talked and when Sheila threatens, people shut up because she means business. They kind of make Sheila kind of weak in The Witcher 2. It's kind of like meh. And to say that the Lodge is a theater for two sorceresses, yes and no at that point, because they all have their own agenda, right? So maybe not everyone's using the Lodge, but you have Francesca and Ida who are really just there to also aid her people, or their people, sorry. And you have obviously two Nilfgaardian sorceresses, one of which is now dead. And then you had Triss, Yennefer at one point, but she left. Ciri was supposed to be a part of it, but said, fuck y'all. And then you have people like Margarita Loantil, who has more loyalties to her school than anything else. It's kind of Sabrina's dead as well. So it's kind of not really a Lodge anymore at that point. It's just friends scheming. So it's a little bit weird. And the entire... Actually, I can... Well, no, I can talk about that now. Because y'all have already seen a lot of the other Lorethrough. The fact that the Lodge decided to kill kings, straight up kill kings and not just end their lines, is odd. Especially as the Lodge would likely have had more information about Nilfgaard doing what they're doing than anyone else, which is always why this was kind of a flimsy idea that the Lodge would be so easily manipulated. Because all of the Lodge members are somehow very easily manipulated, even though it is very much implied in the books that the Lodge was so good at manipulating people that by the end of the era, when everything was said and done, all of the kingdoms had already fallen, the Lodge was long dead, yada yada yada. This was in Nimwe's time. The Lodge members were looked upon as archmistresses of magic, as saviors, as saints. They were looked upon as amazing people. Philippa, wow, what a gal. So if they could manipulate mankind like that, and history like that, I find it a little bit hard to believe that they would get fucked so hard. Like, to this level, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Does Triss tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth here? I think so. Mainly because I feel like, okay, Triss in the books is a cunt because she betrays people, she lets people walk all over her, she says, fuck Geralt, fuck Yennefer, fuck Ciri, they can all die, I guess, or get sacrificed for the greater good, which is just a scumbag thing to do, date raping Geralt, yeah, the list goes on. Witcher 1, she's still lying, she's still using Geralt, she still doesn't say anything about Yennefer, she still doesn't say anything about Triss, or about Ciri, sorry. And even in the start of The Witcher 2, she is still lying. She's still full-on lying. She still doesn't tell the whole story. Whereas here, at this point, I feel like at this point, maybe she's broken a little bit. Because it's kind of half implied that most of what she does is in service of magic, and then in part it's service of the Lodge. And when it comes down to it, here she feels like, okay, the Lodge has now full-on betrayed me. And if we're assuming that the Nilfgaardians in Renoir did indeed show signatures and confessions, then she doubly thinks so, which wouldn't be completely out of the ordinary. So I think at this point she's like, okay, I just got fucked by the people that I have let walk all over me, definitely Philippa, people that have used me, people that have betrayed me as well. Shit, this actually kind of sucks. So maybe she's kind of changing her position in terms of how she deals with people, right? So at this point she's like, fuck it. I'll tell you what's actually going on. I'm going to start over. And the main reason I also think that is because in The Witcher 3, that's kind of where her arc ends properly and she becomes her own person, right? In The Witcher 3, she's already doing her own thing regardless, and then she does the whole thing with Kovir and the mages. And she's like, okay, if Geralt doesn't want to be with me, Geralt doesn't want to be with me, I'm going to go save people in Kovir. So yeah, this is kind of this point is kind of the switch for Triss Merigold to becoming a decent person, which is nice. So we'll finish this I don't trust you line, and then we'll go, I needed you and I believe you. Don't worry.
I'd say the same thing in your place.
I'm telling you the truth.
You have no idea how much I want to believe you, but you've lied once. Why wouldn't you do it again?
I never lied to you. I just didn't tell you everything.
How is that not lying?
I didn't know the truth. I had suspicions, that's all. And once I was finally certain, it was too late. I can prove everything.
Now, You'll tell me everything you know. I need to learn the truth.
All existing councils of mages disintegrated after the Thanad massacre. We all acted separately. Philippa decided to create a new organization, a secret one this time. When I was sworn in, it never crossed my mind that the Lodge's plans would soon become secret to its members. As you know, Philippa's not one for minor undertakings. She presented a plan for creating a powerful state controlled by sorceresses.
Yeah, so when I played The Witcher 2 for the first time, the conversations with Triss wildly confused me, because I had no idea who the Lodge was. I had no idea what happened to Thanet. I had no idea about many things, really. And The Witcher 2 kind of half assumes that you know things in general. So yeah, real quick timeline. Way back in the days, mages were governed by, we'll call it a government of mages, to keep it simple. Now, you know, the first chamber, the second chamber, if you're Dutch. They make decisions. It's a small group of mages, no bigger than a handful. They're like, mages, you know what? We're gonna boycott that, and then all the mages boycott that. It's basically like, what's the word for that? I'm gonna sit here and think about this for a while, because it bothers me now. Okay, I straight up had to Google that. Union. It's the Mage Union. That's the best word for it. Okay. So, the Mage Union told them what to do. And then, at some point, all of the mages were just having a jolly good time. And then the shit hit the fan. Because one side of the mages were like, we're supporting Nilfgaard. The other side of the mages were like, we are fucking not. And they started fighting. And they started fighting at a very important island, Garstang. And shit blew the fuck up. Like, I'm trying... Just so you know, this is not as detailed as it could be. I'm just trying to be as general as possible. Shit blew the fuck up. And at that point, everyone else in the world was looking at that and going like, shit blew the fuck up. Mages are kind of scary. I think maybe we don't like mages. Mages kind of weird. Ooh, okay. Everybody disliked that, basically. And a lot of the council members, a lot of the union members were dead. So everyone in the mage world was like, okay, fuck it, no more union. We're just gonna do our own thing, whatever. And at that point, Philippa sat there in her secret lair thinking, actually, I'd like to have a union still, but like, there'll only be like a few of us, and we're not gonna tell anybody about it, and then we're gonna fuck some shit up because I want to make a super country that is basically magic central, basically, yeah. And they were going to use Kovir for that, and they were going to use Ciri for that. This is why the Lodge wanted Ciri, to make a magic state. Yeah. So, yeah, that is the basis of this. And it didn't necessarily work out, I guess, according to the games. In the books, it's not really said. In the books, they're fine. In the books, they're... Again, in history, they are lauded as being amazing. But apparently, in between that, they've had to do a whole lot of erasing because half of them died, and yeah, shit hit the fan constantly in the Witcher world, so let's be honest. But that's the base, the quick basis of the Lodge, the very quick basis. No wonder the kings don't like mages.
No wonder the kings are opposing the sorceresses. Nobody likes a schemer.
Philippa and Sheila never lacked ideas or enthusiasm. To control a powerful state, they needed to create one first. Or find a wealthy land with a suitable political arrangement and an easily manipulated ruler. Sheila chose the Pontar Valley, Demavend, and Stennis.
Yeah, so that is their second choice then, because they're, again, like I said, the initial choice was Kovir, because it's a very rich country, and they were like, we're gonna marry Ciri off to the son of that very rich country. It'll be great.
Demavend hated mages.
No more than Henselt or Radovid. Sheila and Philippa saw Demavend as the weakest ruler. His son, Stennis, blows hot and cold. Plus, he who controls the Pontar Valley controls the north. So it was in Edirn that a popular rebel emerged, preaching the idea of a new state. At one of our meetings, I just asked how they imagined overthrowing Demavend. That was the last time I was invited. After Demavend's death, I became suspicious, but had no evidence. Philippa brushed me off. When you went off to meet Iorveth and Sheila was busy with the Karen's carcass, I managed to scan parts of her megascope. That's when I learned that Sheila had dealings with Letho.
I feel like the question, why didn't you tell me, is probably the worst one, because that is literally when she got kidnapped. But we're gonna ask it anyway.
Why didn't you tell me?
I wanted to, but we never met after that. Letho must have shadowed me when I entered Sheila's room. Then he forced me to teleport us to somewhere near Vergen.
Did you talk to him?
He wasn't aggressive. In Vergen, he told me that Sheila commissioned them to assassinate Demavend. Them being the Witchers of the School of the Viper. Sheila helped them prepare the assassination.
I wonder why he told you about it.
Is that important?
Conspirators who suddenly divulge everything? I'd be suspicious.
There was some interference as we teleported to Edirn. I emerged intact, but pretty battered. I knew Philippa was in the area. I decided to go see her and lay my cards on the table.
Maybe Letho wanted just that.
I met a woman at Philippa's house. Thought she was just a servant or Philippa's lover. Before I could speak, I was overpowered by spells. I hardly expected an attack. The pain I felt as my body was compressed. It's indescribable. As if all my bones were being broken. It's even worse when you return to your true form. In any case, Philippa had no idea her lover was a Nilfgaardian spy. I was carried as that figurine all the way to Loch Muin. Asira decompressed me back just before they murdered her. Shillard interrogated me but learned nothing. If it wasn't for you, they'd have had me quartered. I didn't piece the puzzle together until I was here, in the dungeon. Now you know everything.
It wasn't that difficult, but okay. We'll let you speak.
Did Saskia know the Lodge's plans?
She didn't even know the Lodge existed. Philippa told her that the sorceresses would support an independent state in the Pontar Valley, no strings attached. A fairy tale, but Saskia bought it. Saskia backed Philippa, and the people backed Saskia.
Saskia. Not Saskia. Saskia. Hello.
Who had Foltest assassinated?
I have no idea. Perhaps after Demavend's successful assassination, Sheila and Philippa decided to take the next step.
That would be stupid. Killing Demavend was a way to take control of the Pontar Valley. People would forget the regicide in a year, and the Lodge could put its plan in motion. They had to know that if Foltest died, men like Roach wouldn't rest until they learned why that had happened.
One thing is certain. Letho killed Foltest, and Sheila was working with Letho.
Okay, so we already know, obviously, from the last playthrough why that is. It's because Nilfgaard already ordered him to do it. Moving on.
Ever find out what Sheila was actually doing in Flotsam? I find it hard to believe she went there just to kill a monster and earn a few orans.
You're right, of course. It had something to do with Letho and the Scoia'tael.
What did she want from Iorveth?
The Scoia'tael were Saskia's trump card. I expect Sheila needed to know what the elves would do, given that a war with Hensel was practically inevitable.
And they did a lot of killing people. As usual, really.
That'll have to do for now.
We'll learn more at the talks.
You're going to attend?
You have no memory of how the world worked before the Thanid massacre.
Actually, I know exactly how it worked.
That means...
We'll talk about my memory later.
All right. If the Council and Conclave still existed, kings wouldn't be assassinated and massacres would be less frequent. This is our chance to restore these institutions, and we shouldn't miss it. Normalizing relations between the rulers and the mages who advise them is our only chance for peace.
And our only chance to dismantle the Lodge.
The Lodge will disintegrate anyway. Once the kings learn it was behind the assassinations, they'll start a witch hunt. We can prevent that from happening. I'm all for punishing the guilty, but can't abide collective responsibility. I'm ready to go and reveal everything I know about Philippa Eilhart, Sheila de Tanserville, and their schemes.
Let's go then.
Okay, so I'll obviously show you the rest of the conversation real quick as well, just as an in-between, but there is still also a change in what happens if you bring Triss to the talks instead of... in this case, Roach. There's a different ending for each, so I'll show you that too, don't worry. Alright.
I'd slaughter half the Nilfgaardian army for a friend. I know you're a member of the Lodge, Triss.
How do you know of the Lodge?
Does it matter? I also know the Lodge was behind Demavend's assassination.
Geralt,
I trust you. Calm down, Triss. Reynold ep Matson claimed otherwise, but I'll always take your word over that of some Nilfgaardian lowlifes. Now, you'll tell me everything you know. I need to learn the truth. The best laid schemes of mages and men.
Philippa and Sheila never lacked ideas or enthusiasm.
I'd choose the same if I were her. Demavend didn't have a network of spies anywhere near as good as Henselt's or Radovid's.
Nor could he count on the loyalty of such men as our dear Vernon Roach.
If only I'd learned that, everything could have been different.
Okie dokie. Now let's leave that Nilfgaardian camp, shall we? Come, Triss. Chop chop. Ah, she's not into running either. Oh, that must be a Temerian thing.
Those Nilfgaardians, that's your work?
They followed their leader too blindly.
You killed them all?
They didn't slaughter themselves.
Well, they walked into my sword, so technically that counts, really. Right, Triss? Right. Okay, it's fine. No need to say anything. I didn't need confirmation anyway. Let's go fuck some people up, presumably.
We shouldn't arrive at the same time. Let's split up.
Don't trust the other sorceresses.
The Lodge remembers too.
Rest assured I won't let anyone compress me again.
Some of the sorceresses will be surprised to see you. Watch them closely.
Don't worry, I'll manage. See you at the talks.
All right.
Okay, and that was her whole thing. So we're gonna walk our asses over to the deliberations.
Nothing special.
Do you have to use difficult words for that? You know I can't English very well. Which will have a small scene as well, and then it will just continue as normal with the dragon, so there's no change there. Don't worry. Let me just skip ahead to that.
We're about to witness a great event.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I can't wait. Let's go inside.
It's now or never.
Didn't I sound excited? I sounded so excited.
In recent weeks, we have deliberated extensively in Vizima on who is to succeed to the Temerian throne. Because the fate of Foltest's last child remains unknown, we could not reach an agreement. Unable to reconcile the interests of the esteemed Temerian houses, we have no choice but to divide the country into provinces along the barony's current borders.
This cannot be, John Natalis. Temeria stands between Nilfgaard and the north. It must be a strong and united realm.
I, too, would wish it so, Your Majesty. But when Foltest was cut down by an assassin, the country's very heart burst.
I have learned that Anais La Valette is currently in the hands of the sorcerer Deathmold.
Clearly you have yet to learn of the slaughter that occurred today in the Kedweni camp, King Radovid.
Yet there is hope if the child lives.
I shall do everything in my power to find her. Simultaneously, I wish to announce that the commander of the Temerian Special Forces, one Vernon Roach, is officially a wanted man. All privileges appertaining to him as an officer of the realm are hereby repealed.
Kind of rude, isn't it? Don't worry, it won't matter in the grand scheme of things, will it? Ooh, sorry.
To the matter at hand. The document describing the charter of the Council and the Conclave is, as previously ascertained, an exact copy of the charter found in the ruins on Thanet Island. The more important question relates to the Conclave and its power to designate royal advisors. Today, randomly chosen mages and sorceresses reside at many courts. However, in the time of the previous Conclave, such persons were carefully chosen.
Why shouldn't we pick our own advisors?
These individuals bear great responsibility, Your Majesty. The Conclave needs to be certain they are competent.
And that they will keep the Conclave's interests in mind.
Obviously, sire. The Conclave's chief interest is the well-being and prosperity of the northern kingdoms. The document has been signed by every member of the Conclave we have proposed, as well as by all but one of the designated advisors. We await only Sheila de Tanserville's signature.
Without our royal seals, you should be allowed to designate advisors to cowherd at most.
That is true, Your Majesty.
Sheila de Tanserville should never be allowed to sign this document.
Triss Merigold, you decided to join us after all.
De Tanserville has royal blood on her hands. She can't sit on the Conclave.
That is a lie.
Have you anything to support these claims, Merigold?
There are witnesses who will confirm that Sheila de Tanserville was behind the assassinations of Demavend and Foltest.
Officials of the future Council and Conclave. Sheila de Tanzaville should be arrested and tried. If Triss Merigold speaks the truth, Lady de Tanzaville will be condemned to death.
Quickly, condemn quicker!
Sheila de Tanzaville, until Triss Merigold's charges are dismissed or refuted, you cannot sit on the Conclave.
Arrest her.
Again, that's what's funny, because she never wanted to sit on the Council or Conclave. Ah.
You don't know the whole truth. Merigold doesn't know what she's talking about.
I mean, technically, yeah, no, she doesn't. But she has an inkling, right? Splatter. I'm gonna let this play even though you've already seen it because it's Saskia. Come on. How do you like my dragon? That one voice line, man, it always gets me. I'm off to burn things. Okay, back for supper. Mom.
Geralt, we're trapped. Magic's no good here. I can't get us out. Sheila, you have to get Sheila.
Magic's no good here? I guess not, really. Okay. That was her whole thing. There is, I believe, a slightly different ending as well. So I am going to play past the dragon bit as well. Obviously, you don't have to see that because you've already seen that. But I'm going to play past that as well. So you can see the other ending, because there is a slight difference if you basically tell on the lodge. Okay, so I'll be back once things change. Yeah, small bit of showing what happens if you kill the dragon. Because, you know, we only saved the dragon before, obviously, so... Sorry, Saskia. The people must see. The people must know. Stabbity. Carol said. Saskia dead.
A list of the Lodge's sorceresses.
A list of the whores you'll help us find.
What's going on here?
It's random Temerians as well. Because fuck Temerians, I guess. It's a lot of kidwinnies. At least they burn well. So there's a plus. Yes, of course, otherwise there's the whole riots going on and everyone's burning everybody and putting everybody on spikes, because why not, right? Why not? Why not put everybody on spikes? That's no problem. But, and, you know, Triss also helps you up here, so she'll tell you. She'll tell you. The girl's like, wow, they closed the gate before I even got here? Supremely rude.
Are you alright?
More or less.
And the dragon?
I had to kill it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately?
Philippa enslaved the dragon with her magic. If I'd let it live, we'd surely find it serving the Lodge of Sorceresses. Many more would have died. Before the sorceresses broke the creature's will, it was noble and beautiful in its own way. But I'm dead tired of having to choose the lesser evil.
Let's get out of here.
I guess Letho got away.
He's waiting for you.
Waiting?
Where the Temerians made camp. Come on.
And again, this is another something that just doesn't matter at all in the grand scheme of things, because in Witcher 3, Philippa's just like, oh, I lost control of the dragon. Don't know where it is. Just skedaddled, I guess. Don't know. What do you mean, waiting? No.
This should be interesting. What happened here while I was gone?
All the kings had many more armed men than they should have had at a peace summit. During the evacuation, several skirmishes broke out. The Kedwenis clashed with the Temerians. The Order's knights raped 2 sorceresses and killed those who dared try to help them.
Do you think the Council and Conclave will survive?
Well, they're established, and that's the only thing that prevented a wholesale massacre. Hard to say if they'll survive, but for the time being, no one's got any better ideas. Mages are part of this world, whether people like it or not. They have to have their rights, their place. Otherwise, another lodge will arise.
Okay, so that's nice and all, but again, in The Witcher 3, nothing changes. I feel like they should have changed this a little bit, given the choice in The Witcher 2 to either have the Council and Conclave not exist at all, or to have it established. I feel like the whole mage burning should have tempered a little bit if you had this ending imported. But that's me.
Vernon Roach, step away from the child.
She's of royal blood. Temerian. Too good for you, Horsens.
You're an outlaw, wanted in all the north. Hand over the child and perhaps the king will show you mercy.
I piss on Kedweni mercy.
Roach!
Triss!
Dead.
We can't let them have her! This is Foltest's daughter!
I've heard enough. Grab them!
Oh, I can't see a thing. Ah, stop it! It's a child! Stop wanting to have a child! It's so weird. Not in the way I'm saying it right now. Different. You know what I mean. You know what they want. Come on. Roach literally said too good for you. You know what they wanted. Oh, sorry. I did see we're still murdering somebody. I'll help.
Damn it!
You
I
died.
failed.
Ah, damn it.
Deathmold got away. Thanks, Geralt.
You're welcome.
Triss needed my help. You know that. The Nilfgaardians outwitted us all.
What are you talking about?
They kidnapped Triss. The Emperor dispatched the Kingslayers using the Lodge as a decoy, all in order to breed chaos in the northern kingdoms.
Temeria is lost. The Barons will pick it apart into bits.
It's not lost. Temeria will be reunited. Get the child out of here. Take her far away. Far from the kings, their courts, and their wars. One day, she'll reclaim her heritage.
What about you, Geralt?
In Witcher 4.
I'm going after the Kingslayer.
A man of his word.
It's personal now.
Farewell then, White Wolf. I trust we'll meet again in better times.
Farewell, Roach.
Daddy Roach. Oh.
Where's Iorveth? How's Iorveth?
Proud, I think. The reward on his head has never been greater. Those seeking him, the Scoia'tael hunters, will be reinforced. The special forces throughout the north will receive more resources. The Council and the Conclave are assigning several mages to the task. Iorveth is now public enemy #1. They won't rest until they find him.
Yeah, so, this one never really made much sense at all, because in this doesn't happen in the previous playthrough, in the Iorveth path, but it does happen here. Why? Iorveth didn't really get anything done. Vergen fell, so he's gonna have to run away. He barely has any say in anything, and the fact that Geralt just already said, oh, this is what happened, the Emperor just hired Letho, even though that wasn't actually explained to him yet. But the game is like, you know it, I'll just tell you. Like, this is like pre-knowledge, basically. It's fantastic. But here's the thing, you can find Iorveth on Roach's Path. I don't remember where and how, if I'm perfectly honest, but I just do know you can find him with Triss and until Triss teleports away. Basically, if I can find that, that'd be great. I don't think I can though. I have a feeling I've missed that opportunity. Don't worry, I will get that opportunity.
This is no place for witches. Though I know you and you appear wherever something important happens.
True, no place for a horse. Sometimes by accident.
And this time, also a coincidence?
Let's say I have something to take care of.
In that case, hurry. Once we're done cleaning up this mess created by the royal soldiery, Loch Muin will be magically sealed.
Getting out of here?
Temporarily. We shall return soon enough to rebuild the city. Loch Muin will regain its former glory. Until that time, we need to keep the treasure hunters and troublemakers out.
So Radovid trusts you?
We shall win His Royal Majesty's trust by delivering Sheila de Tanserville and the other traitresses from the lodge.
De Tanserville will be a problem.
Admittedly, Sheila can be slippery as an asp, but we'll find her.
You don't get it, Carduin. Sheila de Tanserville's dead, killed by an unstable portal.
Shame. She was to be charged and tried. She would have been convicted of her crimes.
Why does it sound like she was convicted before standing trial?
It would have been a formality, true, and at once a warning to other sorceresses.
Seems to me she led you down the garden path.
Forgive me, I must attend to some matters. And don't dawdle, the city will be sealed in 1 hour.
Seems to me like Chief fucked you over. What? I can't hear you, I have stuff to do, ha 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 ha. Doing things. It might only be on if you save Roach, but we'll see. I'm gonna show you no matter what, because it involves Iorveth.
Wait for me.
Geralt.
Up here.
I don't want you to get hurt.
I can take care of myself.
Not this time. I need to talk to him alone. Wait for me at the city gate. If I'm not there within the hour, leave without me.
Leave without me anyway. Yeah, so I will find that Iorveth bit for you. I will replay this bit millions times just in case, so I can find it for you. In fact, I will do that tomorrow. That fast, Jinsey? That fast. Yes, that fast. Okay, so, that was basically Triss's entire path on this side. So the main differences are that the repercussions against the mages and Loch Muin as a whole are not as severe if you help her, because she's like, hey, I'm a mage, and I'm giving you the info. You should like us, okay? Whereas otherwise, everything goes to shit. But again, the problem is, Witcher 3 just forgets all of this happened, so it doesn't really matter. But at least you know it happened. Yay! All right. Until the next episode. Vathel.